You could have probably been an entertainer because you were doing all that kind of shit.
I have some jokes, Joe. I got some jokes, Joe.
I bet you do.
So what people read in this book Can't Hurt Me, it's a sad story. It's a horrible story. It's a tragic story. It's a story that made me who I am today. But you have to learn to laugh at yourself too. Once you go through that shit, I was the funny dude that came into school, like Criss Cross came out when I was in high school. So my pants were backwards. I said, you know what, I'm gonna have my pants backwards, sag down past my ass crack, shirt turned backwards with a toothbrush in my mouth with the reverse part. The reverse part is your head is shaved and you have some hair on top. Just a little piece of hair versus like a part through hair. The part was on a bald head. I would sit at home, instead of studying, I would think about what can I do to impress a motherfucker at school? Wow. And that became my life. It's a long road to hoe to get to the guy who says now, you don't ever smile on any podcast, you look so serious. I look at that shit, I'm like, you motherfuckers have no idea who I am, where I've come from to get here today. I didn't want to live in this world where I was a fake human being anymore. And I was tired of blaming everybody for where I was at. My dad beat me, this happened. I mean, my dad ran prostitutes, man. My dad literally snatched the soul out of my mom. Like, my mom is still battling. After my mom left my dad, she got married 3 times. For a total of 6 months. I'm not even gonna talk about the guy she married. So this woman she's beautiful, she's so smart, all this stuff, man. This guy literally stripped her soul away. And I was a young kid watching it. And I had no soul to begin with. And my brother, he has a story that he could write 8 books. My dad just came through and just washed us all clean. He died about 4 years ago. I didn't go to the funeral, but I forgave him. So I saw my dad through an 8-year-old's eyes. He left when I was 8. And then at 22, I went back to see him through a grown man's eyes. And he was the same person I remembered. But I had to. You can't live with hate. You cannot move forward. As much as that guy tried to ruin all of our lives, that's where I came from. I had to figure out the origin of where I started from. So when I was going back through my life trying to fix who I am, the fucked up person I was, if your knee hurts, it's usually not your fucking knee that's hurting. It's something else. It could be a tight quad. It could be the right leg if it's the left leg. You gotta find out the origin of where all this shit began. It was him. So I had to go back to where my roots and the origin of all this happened, and it's hard to do that.
Did you make peace with him?
I made big peace with him. We didn't have a peaceful conversation. We left very Garanimal. He was a vicious man. Medieval motherfucker. So I had become a medieval motherfucker at that time. I was 22 and I was the big boy. And so I was no longer the guy who was afraid. It was now like, hey, I want to kill you type of shit. And we were sitting at Denny's after an all-night skate. He owned bars and skating rinks and shit like that. And we were sitting down and we kind of got into it and I just kind of left. But I had to make peace with it in myself. I could not hold on to that hate because holding on to that hate was half the reason why I kept falling into the same pattern of failing. I had to start dumping off some baggage. I had to start figuring out me through him, and that's all he was there for. He was the origin. I had to figure him out, figure out why he was so evil to my mom, to me, my brother, and I had to start studying him. A lot of people have situations where someone does something and we all attack that person, like on the media. If someone does something wrong, everybody now is fucking perfect, and we now judge this guy. I don't judge him. I don't judge anybody. What I do is I start studying them. Why did they do that? Not in a judging way. I want to learn from you. I got that he grew up rough. He was very insecure, had a lot of kids, and his insecurities just trickled over onto us. Yeah, he jacked us up real good, but he never fixed himself. So if you never fix yourself, the next person in line is going to get the rap. And we were next in line. I had to make peace with it in myself. Fix yourself,